Okay, so now we have to. We gotta go to. He was saying something about a lock. Alright, he was saying something like, where did I put the key? Was it here? Unlock the basement door. Oh no. What do we got down here? Garbage bags, supplies. They were dirty. Did I take the key? Hey, the garbage bags were stuffed with old paint cans and supplies. There was the dirty old key. Yes, let's take it. And try to remember what it had unlocked. Maybe there's like a circuit breaker here that could open. Clothes and tools. Or not. I put up this drywall last summer so we could create a separate room in the basement. I hadn't finished it yet and the door was stuck and the drywall was poorly installed. I might have been able to break through if I had found something heavy. What about that fucking plank of wood? No Christmas decoration. Okay. So now I have to find out what this key does. What is it like? What's this? Small pile of mail on the floor. How long have I been away? Why hadn't Rachel picked this up? Most of the contents were bills. So there was a credit card bill. Did I open it? Yes. I read the bill open and read it. To my surprise, there's something about canceling my credit card due to non-payment. What the hell? Oh. There's a lock on this I couldn't go through. I needed to see if Rachel was here. Let's go upstairs again. I don't think I went to the second floor. Third floor, I guess. Rachel? Are you here? Did I go here? Yeah, I think this is where the suitcase is at. Okay, so I think I checked. I didn't check the second floor. I did check the third. Yeah, that's the broken mirror right there. Rachel? I just wanted to speak with you. Honey bun. Pretty angry about that, I realized. Rachel was pretty angry about that, I realized. Angry about what? Maybe I dropped it there? Dropped what? What is he talking about? I think I might have missed something here. There's a door over here. I don't think I've been here. It looked like the room had been tossed around. The furniture was a mess. Did somebody break in here? Oh. There's an old crowbar on the floor. Okay, so I can take this to break the door downstairs. The drywall. I appreciate it. Its weight. Good. Good for you, Fred. You appreciate that weight. Okay. It seems like because it's heavy, he's walking even slower now, which is pretty cool. So let's go in the basement, bust open this drywall. Alright. Did I break through the wall with the drywall? Yes, I did. With a heave, I swung the crowbar at the wall. I smashed a large hole large enough to step through. As I stepped through the wall, my breath caught my throat. This was it. Was Rachel down here? Was she okay? Rachel? Don't look. Hello? There's blood. Don't look. Rachel? A filthy looking pile of rags had been dumped in the corner. The stench of them was awful and it made my eyes water. I was terrified to even touch the pile to see what laid within, but I knew I had to. I had come this far. After all this searching, after all I had seen, when I looked within the rags, did I finally find my Rachel? Yes? Oh no, my hands trembled as I pulled back the layers of cloth. At the center, under all the dirt and mess, was the beloved Rachel. Her arms were bruised all over and slashes repeatedly. Her clothes were ripped and torn, and even though all that sickening blood, it was obvious she had been stabbed to death. The knife I had carried all this way suddenly seemed like a poison. What had happened, Rachel? Who did this to you? I thought about all I had seen and wondered if any of it could help me figure out who done this. And when I couldn't stay there any longer, I stepped away, shaky legs, and made my way back upstairs. Reluctantly exhaled from my journey. I could no longer resist the urge to close my eyes. Oh, so Rachel's dead. I think she was fucking Norman, so fuck her. Unless she wasn't. Maybe I would use some of Rachel's traveling to find a place to go. It was my wallet with the contents intact. Either I dropped that stuff or somebody else did. Maybe I was sleepwalking again, or maybe somebody stole it from me. Norman's store, that forest, the water tower. Was I at those places before? Yes, I was. I didn't see how it could have happened any other way. I must have been there to lose my wallet and contents. But what does that mean? It means you killed Rachel, man. It seems like that's where they're going with this. Within a few broken pieces remained a mirror. I could see my face and grown pale and weak. I couldn't bear to look at it. It was like I didn't actually expect a reflection. I felt empty and drained. Can we go back into the basement and see if Rachel's there? Oh, we can go out the front door apparently. Or not. I have no one to get angry with me. This letter I had taken from the postcard. Who had it out for Norman? Who sent that letter? It must have been someone from the neighborhood, or at least somebody that wanted it to look that way. I wasn't sure what to think. Did he murder Rachel? I don't think he did. Norman had ended up dead himself. Whoever sent that threatening letter must have got to him. But who the hell was that? Evan? It was you, Fred. You murdered him. You murdered him, and then you murdered Rachel because you found out Rachel was fucking him. So you murdered her. I could not leave, not until I had thought about this some more. I need answers. There's not long Rachel been. Okay, in the basement. So she's been down there for a while. Couldn't go back down there not until everything is perfectly clear. Office sat on the floor. I used it to keep my tax records and other important documents in it. I used to digital password, but I couldn't remember. Maybe I had left it somewhere. Okay. I'd take it from the forest. Names that have been written down: Olivia, Ashley, Cheryl, all that. I recalled the names I still scratched out on the old desk, deep within those musty tunnels. Was the man in the house really up to something? Was he? Let's go back up here. The reflection on the ground wall and a shadow whispered. Still the old time. I was hoping that we'd find like the number lock or whatever. Maybe it's in here. It was the key card I found in the factory that allowed me to slip through that door. It seemed to me like it was probably Norman's, but if that was true, what was he doing back at the plant? Did I think Norman was going back to the factory? Maybe. Must have been him. He must have been using that old locker. I thought it was dead, but I found some notes in the paper where I had found the key. Yo, sticky note, 8-digit, okay. Yes, let's see that. You're gonna say, but what phrase was that? Alright, so I have it written down now. I should be able to go open up that thing. I think it was on the floor below me. Was it? Maybe. I think it was in here. Yeah. The code I found should have access. Yes. Code work. They pulled out a small safe, appeared inside. There was a photo in there of Rachel when I was when we first moved into town. In it we were smiling outside the front of the house, which looked like a real mess. We looked happy though. Odd, I couldn't remember who took the photo. Inside the safe was also an envelope. The front of it read, "Do not open it till I tell you." I guess this was a good time I need to see what was inside. Yes, we did. Let's see. Totally outline read the yellow line On it was a letter written in familiar handwriting. The letter read, I know this whole event has probably been pretty difficult. You can't imagine how hard it has been for me to. Well, maybe you can. This isn't meant to be an excuse, but, well, I hope you can better understand why I've done what I've done. Moving to this town seemed like such a dream, a quiet place to get established, to live out our lives and to be together. But you know as well as I do that things quickly change. Your drinking was one thing, but as you grew more distant, but as you grew more distant, as you retreated into that world of yours, well, it was clear that you didn't need me as much. In fact, maybe you never needed me at all. But it took all this to make you realize. In the end, though, you may never forgive me for this. You may never forgive yourself, but this is probably for the best. You'll be healthier for this. I just sorry it had to happen this way. What? Was he the one responsible for Rachel's death, but I had found him dead? No. Hmm. Well, so what the fuck? Did Rachel kill herself? It seemed like I had seen all that. Maybe I thought I was ready to go back into the basement. Maybe there wouldn't be anything for me to find, but I at least had to look. Oh man. Rachel, I swear to God, if you fucking come back to life. Then I said that I realized I couldn't go back into that room. I had already seen too much. What? Okay, well then, if I was guilty, I could take this to a warm, safe place and do something about it. Did I pick up the knife? No. There were other. There were other things to do. Now let's take the knife. Fuck it. And kept it in firmly in my hand. I needed to put an end to this, one way or another. Well, let me in, so I could. Okay. Guess not. Can I leave through the thing over here now? I knew you need to escape that nightmare, but what about the knife I still carried? I wonder, even if I left, would it really be over? Should I leave this house forever? Yes. Let's get out of here. Living this town hadn't been easy. The plan had helped me stay grounded. It kept me in line, gave me something to do, and helped me get away from my past. When the factory closed, everything changed. I guess that's when I had started sleepwalking, disappearing for hours at a time. I had MRIs and pills, piles of doctor's reports, but nothing seemed to help, not even drinking. But I swear I had tried to give it up. I know it. Sleepwalking never really went away though, but I knew Rachel had tried. I knew she had tried to be there for me even when everything was falling apart. This night had unearthed terrible truths, but I know it was a final act of a long-staying horror I'd been living. Waking up in that house tonight was the final cruelty. I wish I had remained unconscious in that room forever. Even the man I had found in the old place was a mystery. Why was he dead, or who had done it to him? Was not something I could even begin to understand, or why, for that matter, was I in the damn room in the first place. After making it out of these tunnels, I thought those sewers might feel safer. I was wrong. The security tape I watched showed someone being attacked by what looked like two people, but was it that way? But was it that? But who was that attack? I had found the contents of the wallet scattered throughout town. Why the hell I had been out there? Had my sleepwalking gone to a new extreme? I thought I could find the account for the whereabouts, but I knew I had been to that forest, and even Norman's place was terrifying. I didn't know what had been. Excuse me. I didn't know what that meant, but at least I had. Sorry, I'm doing something. One second. But I didn't know I had. But at least I had recovered my things. Hopefully, I thought that would cover my tracks, so I wouldn't be blamed for all this. Deep within the woods, though, there was things became. That's when things became truly awful. Finding that notebook only made things worse. Rachel's name had been on that list. So what terrible plot was she a part of? There was a similar list of names on the desk back in those tunnels. What was the connection? It was clear at least that Norman had been going back to the old plant. Maybe he was the one who had boarded up the locker room, who had been drinking up there in that secret hiding place. So had he killed that guard then? He must have. Maybe he was found out or the guard had caught him on patrol. Damn it, Norman. Why? After the factory, I thought I might find some solace if I could just get to Norman's store. But I had found were more horrors and more questions. Now that I really consider it, that's when I should have seen it coming. Damn, Norman. How did you get mixed up in all of this? I knew you weren't a perfect man. None of us are, but you didn't deserve this. Maybe whoever had done you in was responsible for the other murders and that happened in the town. At the very least, I was convinced you and Rachel were killed by the same person. I sincerely hope you find some peace, my friend. I knew I never would. When I had marched through the rain towards the home, I desperately clung on to hope that this would end. And I guess in a way it did. But how could I have known how hopeless it all was? I had started to feel as disoriented as when I sleepwalked. To think of it now, our house used to feel so lively, so warm. But coming into the kitchen, I felt only a cold, empty tension. Every terrible thought I had up to that point was suddenly a possibility, but nothing could have prepared me. My wife, dead, ruined, discarded. Rachel's death was a terrible mystery to me, one that would haunt me forever unless I did something about it. For what solace can a man take in the death of his wife? What comfort can he be offered? Rachel had been taken from me, and I might never know why. As I swung the door open, I stepped out into the air. I caught the scent of wet grass and fog. Rachel, my beautiful wife. Just the thought of her again, cold and inert, shook me more, shook me from head to toe. Shock, whatever. What would I do now? Who could I turn to? It would only be a matter of time before the police got involved, before the neighbors knew. The front lawn was soft and giving beneath my feet, and I could shake the urge that I couldn't shake the urge that I shouldn't stand there, but rather that I should run. Oh, that's it. Alright, so that was Home. Uh, it seems like a pretty interesting game. I do want to come back and play it again to hopefully look around a little bit, maybe find more stuff and get more answers. I like that it seems like you can kind of dictate where the story goes. You can accuse people, like you can accuse if Norman killed Rachel, and all that. So, and definitely Home is dedicated to my wife Nancy. Watch your back. That's cute. The end. So, yeah, I don't think I'll record this again, but I definitely will probably play it again. It's pretty interesting. This is not bad. If you want to check it out, it's on the PlayStation Store, on the PS4. It's probably on PC and all that other stuff too. I got it when it was on sale for $1, so it's not bad. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed Home. If you did, leave a like. If you really enjoyed it, maybe subscribe. Uh, Thanks for watching. I love you. Goodbye.